there was this couple that was like kind of like staring at us, and then we kind of noticed that they were walking up to us like at the corner of our eye. Nothing crazy, but they were kind of just dancing like in the same vicinity as us, And I feel like I've told the stories, not on the podcast necessarily, but I feel like I've told the story numerous times to like friends and everything. And I feel like each time I get like a different version of it as far as the words that come up, because it's kind of a blur and it was like, a while ago. But I remember they came up to us and they essentially said something along the lines of like, oh, what are you guys doing? We're like, oh, like we're just out here. They're like, where you guys from? We're like, California, blah, blah. And then they were like, what are you guys doing after this? And we're like, nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like just seeing what's up, And I remember they said something just like, well, you guys want to come back with us to our room, or do you guys want to come with us after? And yeah, like just come with us. We can go party over here. And I remember it was like, nah, I'm good, like I'm good. And I remember I was like looking at Lily and I'm like, yo, am I tripping? Or are they trying to like, did they think we're swingers? Like, did they think that I feel like they were trying to swing that way. And I'm like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? They were like a bit older too. So I'm like, this is swinger couple, right? Ultimately, we didn't fucking go, you know what I mean? But it was like, that's Miami. Yes. Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I'm your host, Albert Fig. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a good Easter. Welcome back. Thank you for checking in. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on whatever social media platform you're using, and follow on, I guess, whatever else you're using, to go along with that. But welcome back. Another Solo One episode here. I'm excited for this one because I learned something over the weekend that I had no idea about, and it's about the Easter Bunny. Now, Easter Sunday was just this past Sunday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be with my little man, but shout out to my son. I know you had a good time. But in that, I had so many questions because we get so used to like, doing the Easter egg hunt stuff, doing the cracking of the eggs, doing Easter and celebrating when he has risen. For those of you that are religious, he has risen. And I always got to questioning him, being like, what is it about if it's Easter, right? If the whole point, I don't know if it's the whole point, but if they talk what they say about Jesus resurrected, right? And he had risen, then what does that got to do with the bunny, right? Why is there an Easter bunny if the whole point was a resurrection type of thing? So I took the liberty, you're right, to use the world famous Google to look it up, right? So this is what Google says. If you type in what does the Easter bunny have to do with Easter, right? This is what it brings up. Like an egg, the bunny came to represent the promise of new beginnings and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right? Even though that still doesn't really tell me fully, it's just like a representation type of thing. But if you look further in it, this is what it tells you. How is the Easter bunny related to Jesus? In short, the Easter bunny is not related to Jesus at all. At most, they're both obviously tied to holiday celebrating the resurrection, and they're both considered symbols of new life. But the links to one another essentially end there. Did it have to be a bunny? Here's my thing. I'm not the smartest person out there, right? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But couldn't there be any other animal that could have been used to represent new life other than a bunny, right? Am I the only one that's feeling like this? Did it have to be a bunny? Why couldn't it be something cooler, right? Like a ferret. Or if that's not cool enough, how about like a koala to represent new life? How about a dragon to represent new life? I don't know. I just feel like an Easter bunny just kind of doesn't do it for me. It doesn't make it too exciting. And I don't know why they got it Easter, right? So I used the world famous Google to look that up. Why do they call it Easter? Well, it says the English word Easter, which parallels the German word Ostern, is of uncertain origin. One view expounded by the Venerable Bede in the 8th century was that it derived from Eostre, E-O-S-T-R-E, pronounce that, or Eostre, E-O-S-T-R-A-E. Again, I'm lost for that one, but the Anglo-Saxon goddess of spring and fertility. This, the more I look into it, the more I understand why people don't look into it, because it's starting not to like actually make sense. And since when do rappers have to make sense when they make sense? If you get that reference, you would G. But I was just curious with that one, because I'm like, what is it about Easter, right? What is with the freaking Easter egg, hiding the Easter egg, and then there's a golden egg, and then, you know, if you mess, I don't know, if, I can't speak with other like races or religions and stuff like that, but I just know like in the Hispanic community, right, like us Mexicans, we have to do this thing every year where like your moms, your grandmas, your tias, your tios, they save the eggs, like they cut the top off, they save the eggs like by the cartons, you know what I'm saying? They save the eggs by the cartons and they stack them all up. And then when it starts to get close to April, they start to put flour, confetti, drugs, just kidding, and stuff in the egg. And then you could dip them in like some paint stuff. You could decorate them. You could color them. You could put stickers or what have you. And you get like tissue paper, and you put some glue at the top. You put some tissue paper, right? And the next thing you know, you got a whole fucking arsenal of eggs, right? It's like, think of it like snowball fight without the snow, but super Mexican. That's essentially what goes on. And you crack the freaking heads on, crack the eggs on people's heads and your family members, right? And then if you even want to take it one step further than that, what we could do is you get an actual egg, right? And you mess with your primo or your prima or your tío or your tías, and you crack a real egg on them just to let them know, like, got him. You know what I'm saying? It's those type of things. So if you aren't familiar with that, definitely try it one year. And if you are familiar with it, you're probably over it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I didn't do it this year or last year or the year before. Also, I don't care, to be honest, but that's just me, you know. What are you going to do? But I hope you guys had a good one. I hope I, you know, kind of put some excitement in that Easter recap and made you want to do something and try something for next year. So you're welcome. But anyway, another solo one, man. Okay, so let me get some context for last week's episode and how things are changing, right? So for last week's solo episode, I'm not even lying to you. I'm busy as fuck, right? I shot and recorded that shit the same day, did barely any edits, minus like a few color grading, set up on the fly like this. I just straight shot at the camera, didn't do anything about angles, didn't worry about how things were looking up. I didn't even set up the secondary camera like I have right now on this one, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I had to get it out. So I don't know if anybody knows or not. It still came out on a Wednesday, don't get me wrong, but it was like 2 minutes. Sorry, not 2 minutes. It was like 2 hours longer. No, 2 hours late from the release time. Yeah. Matter of fact, is it like? Yeah. It was about 2 hours. I'm looking back at this stuff, but I recorded that on the fly, and it's like I accidentally low key kind of like the setup that I have, which is the one you see right here, which is kind of like going to be the angle in the setup that I might be using going forward, you know. And I like this table now too. And what's really cool is I've always had this tabletop mic, and I've only used like a few times. And now that I thought about it, I was like, bro, why don't we just use the table? And now that I think about it, this is a dirty ass table that I was supposed to have like a cover or some type of sheet over, and that's my bad. You know what I'm saying? That's my bad. But we're going to keep it pushing forward with that one. This week, I'm a little more prepared, recording on my scheduled routine, and still going to be, you know, releasing on the Wednesday because I'm a fucking G like that, and it's still coming out. And if I say it, then I meant it, and I stand 10 toes on that. Ugh. But I hope you guys had a good weekend. I know mine was busy. I know mine was cool. I got to spend time with fam. Anytime you get the time to spend time with family, it's always a plus, and it's always appreciated because those times come few and far between. And as everybody knows, we're all getting old as fuck. I got like white hairs in my beard. I got a few white hairs in my hair. I'm getting up there in age. But actually, you know what I just recently happened to me? Most recently, I got one of the weirdest, best compliments that I've ever gotten in my life. It's weird, but in a cool way, but I don't know how to take it. But it's cool at the same time because I get where they're coming from. Anyway, some dude came up to me and told me that I look like Zac Efron. How? Could have fooled me, but apparently he said, yeah. He goes, no, I don't mean like that. I just mean like you look like Zac Efron, like a Mexican version of Zac Efron. And I was like, cool, bro. Like, thanks. I didn't know how to interpret that. Like, is that a compliment or is that like a, hey, dog, you look funny? Like, also, which Zac Efron you talking about? You talking about pre messed up jaw? Like, or the one where he looks like, you know what I'm saying? Looks kind of sketch. Also, or you talking about the one from the 17 Again movie, you know? I don't know which one he was referencing, but apparently I look like Zac Efron. So, first time I've heard that. Yeah. But that random story about that one. But yeah, so back to the family. God, I don't even know how I correlated that with that. That's crazy. So back to the family stuff over the weekend. Yeah, I got to spend time with my sisters, my nieces, my nephews. Damn near all, no, I think it was. I literally saw like all of them, you know, and hopping out with stuff around the house and just enjoying my nephew's 16th birthday, which is crazy to even talk about or say, you know, that I have a 16-year-old nephew now. You know, I remember literally like it was yesterday. I remember when he was born. I remember the phone call. I remember to a T, bro. I remember to a T exactly where I was at, where I was driving from when my sister called me and told me that she was pregnant. I was in the back of my grandpa's van. Shouts out to Grandpa, R.I.P. Love you, miss you every day. And we was coming back from King City. We was on the way to San Lucas, and I get the phone call, and she was just like, so guess what? And I was like, what, dude, what? I mean, I was like a freshman in high school. I think she was like, she might have been like 20 years old or something like that. Or maybe younger or older. I don't know. Yeah, maybe like around 20, right? And then I remember she was like, you're going to be a Theo. And I was just like, oh, shit, no way. You know, as a freshman, when you get that news, you're just kind of like, okay, like, does that, I don't feel like a Theo, right? You're only a freshman in high school. It was like, what age is that? What age is like freshman? Like 14, 15, something like that? So it doesn't really like register to you, you know what I mean? Because you're a teenager yourself, and you know, you have the image of like Theos being like older and everything. So it didn't really like resonate and hit necessarily, right? But then, so I just remember that factor of it, you know? And then now, 4 kids later, 16 years later, you know, because he just turned 16. And yeah, man, seeing little man get up there. So, you know, happy birthday to my nephew. I don't want to say his name on here because y'all don't need to know all that, but it was good seeing him and spending time with him right there. And with my brother-in-law too, we was watching the fights. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything about the podcast, we talk about fights over here, bruh. We talk about fights. And if this is your first time checking in with us, and why else am I me? And if you're first time checking in with the podcast, just know when I talk about these fights, I am not an expert in this, right? I am not what would they call it? I'm not a reporter. I'm not an analyst, expert, coach, or any of that. Have I trained in mixed martial arts? Yes. Way back when for about a month and a half. Don't hold me to it, right? But I like watching fights, right? And then boxing too. Don't get it twisted. You know, Canelo got a big fight coming up May 6th, 5th, Cinco de Mayo weekend, whatever that Saturday lands on. And then Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, April 22nd. Another time, we'll break that one down later, but MMA wise, right? So we were watching the Isreal Adesanyas, Alex Pereira fight, part 2, might I add. And we're watching the whole card, and then Jorge Masvidal was fighting against Gilbert Burns in Miami, bruh. Guarantee you, was after that, the after parties were crazy. You don't go to, the UFC hasn't been to Miami in 20 years. You don't go to Miami after the UFC not being there for 20 years and expect just to go straight to your hotel and expect that it's going to be be a good little saint and not go anywhere, right? You're going to turn up. Come on now. You're going to turn up in Miami? I've been to Miami one time. I almost put 2 because I've been to Florida multiple times, but not Miami. Been to Miami. Great fucking time. Also, Miami's a place where you could find something to do. And some stuff will find a way to do you. Let me tell you a quick story. So we go to Miami, right? Me, Lily and I. We go to Miami, get a hotel. We get this whole, we get like a, what's it called? We want to get like the most, I'm not going to say most best experience, but I would say the best experience that we can on our budget. Now, mind you, we had just bought a house too, so there's that. But wanted to enjoy it a bit, right? So we went to the hot places, went to the beach, of course, went to eat good, and then we did a helicopter tour around South Beach, right? We did that, had a good time, and then rented a truck, and then we went to club. No, was it Club 11? No, Live. No, it wasn't 11 because 11 was the one that we were thinking about going to because that shit stays open till like 6 a.m. or some shit like that. But I want to say it was Club. You know what? I'm acting like I don't have a damn computer in front of me. I want to say it was Club Live. Yeah. Yeah. So we went to Club Live in Miami, right? That shit was amazing. It looks exactly like how you would see online. Hella bougie. And I remember at one point, so we get down to like the dance floor area, right? And Live is like one of those places where like the bottle services stuff are on the dance floor. You can reserve areas on dance floor, but like really the popping areas are on top, like on the second story, right? I think even the DJ from where I remember is on top. But anyway, so I remember I go to the bathroom, right? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk over there. And I'm not used to this too. They got like dudes that like wait outside the restrooms. You know what I'm saying? They're out there like waiting, and they're kind of like they're there to like help you in any way, like give you a napkin. They have like a whole setup right there, right? They have candies, they have condoms, they have shavers, cologne, and a bunch of stuff like that, right? So they're standing out there, right? So and then when you go inside, there's a dude over there too. So you go, you know what I'm saying? Like I can take a piss, I come out, and I go to wash my hands, and there's a dude that's like, he like presses the soap for you, and then he gives you a napkin, you know. And I guess I'm assuming he's there for tips, you know, or maybe they're just that nice. But who's really that nice, you know? So I remember I'm walking out, and the guy goes, "Hey, do you know?" He goes, "Do you need anything?" He's like, "Do you need any cigars?" And I was like, "Oh, how thoughtful!" Because coincidentally, I actually did. I actually wanted to have a real Cuban cigar, you know. And I was like, "Oh yeah, actually you do have this." He's like, "Oh, these are real Cubans, like real Cubans." I'm like, "Perfect, my dude. You're speaking my language." And I go, "Well, what's up with this? Let me know." And he goes, $325. And I go, "That's cool. I don't want a Cuban cigar that much. Not $325, right?" I'm sorry. It's only been 40 minutes here, right? I know we're about to spend a good amount, but 325, tripping. I'll just get the one around the way. So he's like, "Okay, you know, you need anything else?" He goes, "We got condoms." He goes, "When you smoke, you got." I'm like, "Oh, nah, bro. Like I'm thinking to myself, like maybe later." No, I'm like, "Nah, well, I'm good." You know what I mean? Like, whereas I'm looking for the other drugs. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, where's I'm good. I'm just gonna go over here. And so I walk back, right? So I meet up with Lily. We go back down. So we're kind of just like, you know what I'm saying? Like getting a little vibe, kind of dancing. Nothing crazy, but just kind of like in the, you know, it's still early type of thing. And there was this couple that was like kind of like staring at us, you know, and then we kind of noticed that they were walking up to us like at the corner of our eye. Nothing crazy, but they were kind of just dancing like in the same vicinity as us, you know, kind of getting a little closer. And I feel like I've told the stories, not on the podcast necessarily, but I feel like I've told the story numerous times to like friends and everything. And I feel like each time I get like a different version of it as far as the words that come up, because it's kind of a blur, and it was like, you know, a while ago. But I remember they came up to us and they essentially said something along the lines of like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, you know, like we're just out here." They're like, "Where are you guys from?" We're like, "California, blah, blah." And then they were like, "What are you guys doing after this?" And we're like, "Nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like just seeing what's up, you know?" And I remember they said something just like, "Well, you guys wanna come back with us to our room, or do you guys wanna come with us after?" And yeah, like just come with us. We can go party over here. And I remember it was like, "Nah, I'm good, you know, like I'm good." And I remember I was like looking at Lily, and I'm like, "Yo, what, am I tripping, or are they trying to like, did they think we're swingers? Like, did they think that I feel like they were trying to swing that way." And I'm like, "Hold up." You know what I'm saying? They were like a bit older too. So I'm like, this is swinger couple, right? Ultimately we didn't fucking go, you know what I mean? But it was like, that's Miami. You know, that was all within the first. So at that point, now we're about 2 hours deep. That's 2 hours of being inside Club Live. Crazy. So I say that to say, I bet you they had a good ass time. But shouts out to Izzy. Shouts out to Izzy, bro. He got his revenge. He got that knockout. And I have this good quality. I don't got much, right? But one of the good talents, hidden talents, I guess I would have, or you would say talent is I'm pretty good at calling fights to the T. I'm talking about to the round, how, and everything, right? I don't know why. And I called it. We were sitting there and I'm like, bro, right when they're due, they come to a point where they bring the fighters up and they meet in the middle and then the referee's talking to them about like the rules and everything right before they're about to touch gloves and let's get it on, and all that crazy shit. So like right when they're doing that, I go, Izzy, knockout, not TKO, like straight up knockout. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna get it done. I go, honestly, early. Like I didn't say how early, but I was just like, he gets it done via knockout. And sure enough, fucking with the 2-piece and caught him in the second round. And yeah, it was cool to see. It was cool because on a bunch of different ways, because if you don't, mind you, if you're not into MMA like this or don't know these fighters, you're probably mentally checked out and you can go ahead and fast forward. I don't blame you. But the summarized quick story of this fight is that these dudes had fought 3 other times prior to going into this fight, right? 2 of them were in kickboxing. 1 of them was in MMA. And in those 2, Isreal Adesanyas lost, 1 of them by knockout. And then he fights him in the UFC MMA and loses by knockout. So he's 0-3 against this dude. Hella people writing him off. All the recipes for a disaster and everything. But you believe in this guy and just the way I'm a big like proponent on momentum and like physically seeing how a person looking and their energy, right? So I was really going off of like he looked prepared all fucking week. He was really serious. He was really you could tell he was like what's the word I'm looking for? Was really straight, was really direct, was really focused, and was really like, you know what I'm saying? And just, the mannerisms, the way he was breaking stuff down, his mentality going in, like it was inspirational, especially when you see that happen like that, and then the speech afterwards and everything. Oh man, it's great. It's like those are the type of videos you'd watch when you're like about to work out. You know what I mean? Like a few people know what I'm talking about. Like you'd watch you would like whenever you want to get like motivated before a good workout or something like that, you throw on the Floyd motivational training videos. You throw in the Michael Jordan, Kobe training motivational videos. You know what I'm saying? You throw in those type of things. And this kind of fell into that. At least that's the vibe I was kind of getting off of it. And I was just like, oh man, like he won. I was like, yo, I'm ready to take on some shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like the vibe I was going after. I mean, that vibe that I was getting after. And it was like, it was cool to shit to be a part. I'm not gonna say a part of because it definitely wasn't there. Would love to have been. Don't get it twisted. But just to witness and everything. So it was cool shit. And yeah, so that was solid. And then Masvidal retiring after 20 years. And that's a perfect storybook ending. And I think he went out on a loss, but it was like, even going out on a loss, I think regardless, had he won, I think he would have just, I'm not saying who the fuck am I to say went away he should do. But I think it would have been better for him either way to just retire. Bro, in Miami, like I said, the UFC hadn't been there in 20 years. So to do that in Miami, like, storybook and chef's kiss, perfect storybook ending. So it was cool shit to witness and everything. But moving past the UFC, let's go into some hypocritical or reasonable, specifically with some news that doesn't even make sense. So this one threw me off. I don't even know why I'm talking about it, but I'm going to go into it because it falls into the hypocritical or reasonable type of shit, right? Okay, so sorry to do this and bring this up on this platform because this is definitely not this type of platform, but I want to bring it up just because this shit is kind of like, what? The Dalai Lama apologizes after video shows him asking a boy to suck my tongue. Did he use those exact words? Suck my tongue. I don't know if he actually used it, but they said a video clip has been circulating showing a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama if he can get him a hug. And in a statement from an account Twitter, which had 19 million followers, I don't know why they had to throw that in, His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family as well as many friends across the world for the hurt his words may have caused. Now, I know what you're thinking, Albert. That's wild. Why are you bringing this up? And also, how are you going to correlate that into some hypocritical or reasonable? Well, let me break it down and let me do what I do best. Maybe second best because I'm a great dad, okay? Don't get it twisted. But so this is hypocritical or reasonable. So is it hypocritical for people to be like, oh my God, can you believe this happened? Or is it reasonable for people to be up in airs, or arms up in the airs, or however that saying goes, right? I'm gonna go with, this is reasonable. You mean to tell me that dude, this older gentleman, might have got a little aroused? You know what? Maybe not. Let's not go there, okay? Let's not go there. But I'll say, is it reasonable for people to fucking be upset about, duh, this is a little boy. What is this old man doing talking about asking him to suck his tongue from a kiss? Bruh, this is definitely reasonable. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then just to throw in a little apology like that, I don't think is hypocritical of anybody, right? Because they keeping that same energy. That same energy would have been matched whoever would have been. Dalai Lama, Jose Lama, an actual Lama. It don't matter who the fuck, whatever person or whatever, like, you know, everybody's like pretty universally, everybody's pretty on board and on page with that shit. You do some shit like that, especially asking them to suck your tongue, bro. That's reasonable for people to come after you. What are you talking about? Come on now. That's crazy. Now, next one. This one, dude, I feel like I'm being hypocritical right now looking up all this stuff. Bruh, I feel like I'm hypocritical right now talking about looking up like almost damn near gossipy type of stuff. I don't know. But I just think it's crazy. Maybe because I've kind of like, I can see where this is coming from, because I've had like a similar issue type of thing, right? So Young M.A. Young M.A. is, first of all, one of the best fucking rappers like out there. Not just female, male, or whatever, just rappers. Like, she got bars for show, and she could definitely go toe to toe with a lot of you motherfuckers that are like some of your favorite rappers. You know what I'm saying? And like, I remember like I saw like a video like a couple weeks ago, where like she was looking like she was like losing hair and like looking real thin, and people were just like, damn, like, what's going on with her? You know what I'm saying? Like, she probably like, she looks, this is that's fucked up about social media, and the bad thing about stuff like that is that people, they right away jump to the most and conclude a lot of things, right? They go straight to be like, yo, she's on the drugs, or she's going through this and that. Little do they know that there's some like health stuff going on, right? So as a person who's had health stuff and similar stuff like this, where whether it be like, you know, fluctuation in weight or loss of hair, right? So I started to develop alopecia, and I was getting, and luckily I got alopecia in spots. I didn't get the auredia, where it's like total loss on like over your hair. I got alopecia, auredia, some shit like that is the spots, and the alopecia totalis or something like that. Don't quote me on that exact word. That's the one when you lose everything. You know what I mean? So I was getting spots on my head, and not thinning like, oh, like, you know, you're thinning or balding, or like, I'm talking about like spots, bro, like baby skin, smooth spots. The shit was fucking annoying, right? I had to go get cortisone shots in my head, and I had to get like topical steroids. It's a long story. I've actually talked about it on the podcast prior. Check that out. It's the one with Julio, where we talked about the ulcerative colitis, right? So she was having like, she never actually came out and been like, yo, this is the health thing that's going on with it, right? But she talks about like, freaking, she's been low key, long story short, just a small setback for a minor comeback, unfortunately, as a Kendrick verse, right? She's talking about making wrong decisions in her life, and besides that, she's doing better. She's just aging, getting well, and definitely has been sober. And she never actually addressed like exactly what the health issue was, but she says like, you know, she was getting like a health scare at one point. And yeah, bro, like, people don't, first of all, before I get into why it's hypocritical or reasonable, right, let me tell you that your body's like immune system, right, is crucial. Like, immune system is what fights off your bacteria, what, you know, helps you not get sick, helps you fight off viruses and stuff like that, right? So that's what they say. Vitamin C, ginger, turmeric shots are really like good for you. And then when you don't do that and you don't combat that, right, you start to get like autoimmune disorders, diabetes, uh, 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 uh freaking ulcerative colitis, Crohn's. There's a whole list of things, right? I'm not a doctor, and so your immune system is like crucial, and then when it starts to fail on you, when it's not going swell, it starts to attack parts of your body, whether it be internal or physical, right? And in this case, which, like I said, with my situation was my hair, and that's one of the lower end ones, right? So when it starts to affect to a point where it's like your digestive system and your digestive tract, and it starts to attack your colon, and you start to develop conditions like I said, ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis. What is it? There's another one. I forget the exact one, but stuff like that. It's like, yo, you got to take care of your shit, right? So let me tell you why it's hypocritical on this aspect. Hypocritical or for fans. I guess let me expand upon it more. Is it hypocritical or reasonable for fans to speculate this, right? Assuming that it's from drugs and everything. That's the question for this one. I'm going to say it is hypocritical. It's definitely not reasonable for people to just assume that it's drugs, right? Or assume she's on some stuff or was taking some stuff, and that's why her health was going like that. No, because you don't know what's going on, right? You just see a picture or a video on Instagram and assume it's drugs, right? It's very hypocritical because I used to have this. I'm not gonna call him a homie because some other stuff, but there was this dude that I knew from West Virginia. He was a white dude from West Virginia, and he would say stuff like because and wouldn't, right? I'm not making fun of him. That's just legit how he spoke, and he's from West Virginia. So he would say because and wouldn't. I wouldn't do this, and because I wouldn't do this, Anyway, sidebar on that one. Where we at on time, Wayne? Okay, damn it, that shit flew. And yeah, so see, I lost my train of thought. What was I going with this one? Okay, so hypocritical, right? It's hypocritical of the people to go in on her like that because you don't keep that same energy if it's not your favorite celebrity, or keep that same energy when it's not your favorite artist, right? If it aligns with your favorite artist, or if it aligns with insert celebrity, the stuff people put will be like, oh my God, he or she looks bad, prayers up, hope you do well. It must be something in the water or something like that. But because it's not your favorite celebrity, or because it's not your favorite artist, right away quick to go to the damn negatives. You know what I'm saying? It's very hypocritical, because it's like, bro, literally nothing was said but just a picture and a video of like some hair loss and maybe some weight loss, and that was it. It was no context. She was still very much out and about getting a haircut, right? And then put a picture of her and getting out of a car, still kicking it. You know what I'm saying? And then gave an update about music, and the people that want to attack it was going straight to talk about the house stuff. It's very hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? And maybe just because, like I said, maybe I resonate with the house stuff, and maybe because I look at it, I'm the outside looking in, being like, what does any of the stuff that people are saying got to do with like her actual, you know what I'm saying, condition or whatever it is that's going on? Because like I said, she hasn't even said exactly what it is, which is crazy lit, yeah. Hypocritical or reasonable. Those are good ones right there. I didn't know. Damn, see, this is how you know this one was going. God damn, another fucking. Bro, how many shootings are we gonna get in a year? There's another mass shooting. Damn. Another one. 5 killed, 8 hurt in shooting at downtown Louisville bank. Shooter also dead. Did he try to rob the shit, or what's going on with this? Is it not a actual mass shooting? Man arrested after kidnapping girlfriend, leading CHP and chase. This is how, see, I'm falling. That's how motherfuckers, they get you, and I'm going straight. Oh, I drove by this shit. Dang. Okay, so I just because it's bringing up right now, I went to Safeway earlier, and in Elk Grove, right? I went to Safeway, and after I got done shopping, I was driving home, and literally I passed by this exact scene. It was blocked off from like block to block, and I was like, yo, what's going on right here? They had like I'm talking about like gangs of police, and I'm looking at it right now, and apparently I'm not laughing. It's not funny. I'm not laughing like that. But apparently, yeah, homie kidnapped his girlfriend. It says California Highway Patrol said a man is suspected of kidnapping a woman, was arrested near Elk Grove on Sunday morning after police chase. The pursuit of the suspect kidnapper began near Antelope and Alberta Road and Walt Avenue by North Sacramento CHP, who chased him all the way to Bighorn Boulevard and Amber Creek Drive. Is exactly where I was at. According to CHP, the suspect exited the vehicle at that point, had a gun, damn, which prompted officers to shoot at him. Nobody was shot, and the suspect was arrested without incident. Shouts out to y'all. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office told KCRA's 3's Orkramana, I hope I said that right, that deputies took a report from the victim after the pursuit ended. Yo, I'm glad I didn't get caught in the crossfire. Also, kidnapping your girlfriend, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing? How do you kidnap? You know, I'm not gonna fucking. Anyway, this solo one flew, man. I love it when it flows like this, and I actually cut my better prepared and have actually stuff aligned and stuff that I want to hit and everything, and then also, you know, have the time to do it. That's the most important thing. If I have the time, like last time, dude, I was cramming so much stuff in a 24-hour period, let alone that week. And this time, like, even though I'm busy as shit too, I still got stuff to do. It's pretty good knowing that I have the time to actually get this done to deliver a better product. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube. We're trying to get those numbers up. Tell a friend, man. Spread the word. I'm working on stuff right now, marketing wise and promoting wise, that I've been like slacking on, that I'm trying to do better. And I'm really trying to stand out at this specific time where I'm trying to peak. I'm telling you, like, I'm really trying to do stuff to like stand out from the rest and bring some quality guests on. And I'm excited for the ones that I'm in contact right now that'll be out in the future. So yeah, tell a friend, tell someone about it. You feel me? Hit me up. Gang, squad, let's get it. Hypocritical AF Podcast, Albert Fig. I'm out. Peace.